and then it takes years to get it back, so you lose that time. That time is gone. You know, I lost 5 years of I could be crushing it. Where now I'm just now back to crushing it, realizing, God, man, I learned the hard way. That's me. Sometimes one way to learn.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes one way to learn. That's how I've learned the best.
Yeah. How do you know those indicators? So what are those indicators to know I'm pushing too hard or I'm suffering too much? Because it's hard to know, right? Everyone gets in the gym even once a week or whatever, and it's like if you don't go often, you can feel like you're falling apart for 10 minutes.
Do me a favor. Go to the first. Yeah. Go to the first page of not my fault. Go to like the first 3 pages of that book. You see one sentence.
Okay. To the unrelenting voice in my head that will never allow me to stop.
Okay. The unrelenting voice that we all have. What happens to that voice? I'm going to answer your question. We all have a voice in our head. Some of us are very spiritual, some of us are not, but we all have this voice and you're doing fucked up shit. This is wrong. Don't do that. The more you don't listen to that voice, the further that voice gets away from here. Some people call it the Holy Spirit, some people call it God, whatever you call it. It's there. We all have it. It's the right or wrong voice. But the more we don't listen to it, the more that voice goes away. The only voice you hear is yourself. When the only voice you hear is yourself, you're wrong. There's a voice that guides you through life. But sometimes it's guiding you in a direction that you don't want to go. That's usually the right place to go. It's that uncomfortable place. So that voice is always talking to me, but we don't listen to it. I listen to it. And when I start getting anxious, nervous, like we all know we've done too much because it's telling us I'm getting tired, I'm wearing down. But we go. I start talking to my fiance, hey, I'm doing too much. We start now, like I did in Hell Week, like I do all the time, with 1 second decision. It's that decision when your mind starts to get so amped up. Whenever you can't hear yourself think, you gotta slow down. Whenever you're living off a schedule, every day's a schedule, you have no time for yourself. When you start, and we all know it, I don't have time for this anymore, I don't have time for that anymore. That's when your mind and your body are saying, think about that. I'm neglecting my fiance, I'm neglecting my discipline of life, I'm neglecting my reading, I'm learning my workouts, my diet. When you start neglecting all of that, you neglect one of them. You can neglect all of them a long time. It's going to haunt you. When you start seeing that, my God, I haven't eaten right now. I haven't been sleeping right now. It's going to be one of those things that take you off. So I'm very aware of my eating, my sleeping, my disciplines of life. When I start to get too far away from them, it's a hard stop. Because what may be me are the not just disciplines, the self-disciplines of life. And those are always in front of you. If you have it, they're always in front of you. So that's my hard stop.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's great advice. And I guess a simple example is with like sleep. When you wake up in the morning, right, there's a party that's going on.
Exactly.
Right? And we used to wake up at 4 a.m. as months, sometimes 3. It's like there's a part, and then that's what you're saying. And then all you hear is yourself saying, all right, it's all right, just go sleep, it's okay. That's right. But then that voice is like quiet. You need to get up. That's right, you need to get up. And you just pushed it away. You just pushed it away. And that's the discomfort.
That's right. Exactly. So those voices are very important. They can guide you. That's the thing about it. Like I said, the mind's the most powerful weapon in the world. It can guide you to being very comfortable also. So you gotta be careful. The mind will trick you.
Yeah.
And they're saying, just sleep in today. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't deserve it. So there's that fine line of the mind getting the type of advantage over you to be like, I've worked too hard. Yeah. You haven't worked hard enough. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and when we were trained as monks in the Vedic philosophy, we talked about the difference between the mind and the intelligence. The mind is compared to the child, and the intelligence is compared to the parent. And so when the child goes loose, when the mind goes loose, when it's not trained, controlled, disciplined, self-disciplined, etc., it can have tantrums, it can throw things out the pram, right? It demands more. Like a child always wants to sleep in.
Right.
Right? Always. Even if the child knows that it's better to wake up to go to school, the child doesn't want to. A child doesn't want to study for exams. Right. Because it's hard, it's painful. And the adult's role is the intelligence, because often we forget that it exists. The intelligence is that voice, me coaching the mind.
That's right.
But what often happens is the intelligence just tries to shout at the mind, like a bad parent.
Exactly.
The parent just shouts.
That's 100%.
No teaching, no education, no knowledge, just shout.
That is 100%. The way you explain that about the child's mind is 100% the truth. I just want to sleep in. Always throwing tantrums. Never getting what they want. Whenever they don't get what they want, they throw a tantrum. But what happens is we never grow. We are 40, 50, 60, still throwing that tantrum we once did at 7 and 8 years old. So people think with age is growth. No, it's not. You have to go back into the scarring to get the growth.
Absolutely, because if with age you just repeated what you did when you were younger,
exactly.
It's just stronger.
That's it.
Right? You've just strengthened a bad muscle.
I'm throwing a bigger tantrum at 43 than I did at 8.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, you just strengthen a bad muscle. Stronger, 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 stronger. And then that can break you.
100%. That's why I love the monk mentality.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about my book a lot too, is that mentality. I'm not one. But I've taken a lot of the disciplines, the self-disciplines from that mentality to grow.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's what fascinates me so much. I'm excited for us to. This conversation is phenomenal. I'm loving it about your work, and I'm excited to have more offline conversations too. Because that's literally why I did it. When I met monks who were living extreme scenarios, I look at you like, I think about it too. You're an extremist.
Right.
In a good way. I'm saying in a good way. Like when I became a monk, it was the same thing. I've had to go to the edge of myself.
Sure.
Like I had to go to the extreme of myself
100%.
to then realize where I could be placed.
And what's funny about that, I often say, on the other side of an extreme place, I call something whatever you want, there's a whole other world that people have not even examined. But you have to go to that extreme place to examine it. You want to stay here in this comfortable place. Once you're willing to push yourself to that extreme place, it's like a whole other universe. It's something like you're an astronaut and you've examined something that's up in outer space. Well, it's always been there. But you have to be going through all the muck and all the shit to examine and look like, God, all these crap, there's a whole other universe over here in my mind. Whole other universe.
Absolutely. Once you take on capacity in the sense of, so if someone's listening right now, someone's watching or listening to us, and they're just like, you guys are crazy, right? Like,
I hear it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you hear it all the time.
All the time.
I haven't actually. The reason why this is so exciting for me, and I'm sure you can guide me along, is I haven't shared as many moments in my story. Even the ones I've shared with you today, I've not really shared them because I'm writing them right now.
Right.
But I'm sure you hear it all the time. You're crazy. What's your take on capacity? If someone's listening, they're going, David, right, you can stand in the middle of the ocean and it's 49 degrees, and you can do that. But for me, that suffering is me just